Sisters, it's a great thing to be here today. I really appreciate it. I never expected to be the turnout that's here, but it just shows where we are today and how many people are getting involved. My name is Troy Jackson. I'm a fifth generation logger from Allagash. I'm the son of a public school teacher, and I am the former president of the Maine Senate. It's an honor that I never imagined that I would ever hold as a fifth generation logger. And certainly it's a building that I never thought originally that I ever belonged in. And I'd say, why would you say that? Why would you ask that? And it's because they're the only dynasty that I am part of is the family of loggers. But it is something that I am damn proud of, a working class person. But growing up as a logger, going with my father, I have to say I have known men like Donald Trump, Leonard Leo, and Elon Musk for all of my life. The oligarchs, the greedy corporate overlords of this world who ruled boardrooms and governments. My entire life and all of your lives too. Men with soft hands and three-piece suits who think that they're kings, God's gift to the world, despite never putting one honest day's work in their entire lives. And I've watched them lust upon power that they wield, power that is not rightfully theirs, moving people around on like chess pieces on a chessboard, and they tear people's lives and their families apart, just as we're seeing happen today. Whether it's tackling a United States Senator to the ground just for having the audacity to say something that they don't like, or interrupting their press conference, for Christ's sake, or willing to do that to an elected official, someone who has supposed power, someone that's elected as a U.S. Senator. Well, if they'll do that to someone like that, then what regard will they have for ordinary people like us? You see, when you read through history, you read through stories of rulers who were power-hungry and warlike. In the ages of kings and emperors, they thrived on reaching the height of their power and succumbing more and more people to their influence. They exploited and hurt all that they needed to in pursuit of more and more power, in pursuit of the insatiable greed of more. Well, that doesn't sound like a lot different from what we're living today, ladies and gentlemen. We are often told that these kings are long gone and that there is days of democracy and of equality and egalitarianism. But looking at what has transpired in a mere matter of months since the election, I think it's safe to say that that couldn't be further from the truth. The kings and emperors who exploited our ancestors centuries ago, no matter what corner of the earth that you come from, are not without modern successors. Our supposed enlightenment may have meant that the actual end of kings, but something new and far more insidious has emerged in their place. In the place of kings and monarchs, now we see wealthy CEOs and corporate politicians that are fueled by more of a lust of power, influence, and greed. And whatever they achieve, it's never enough. They always want more. More tax cuts, more power, more people to trample on. Where once they sought to be kings and emperors, now they seek to be presidents and senators, authoritarians, and dictators. Where once their armories came from construction, now they come from Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and hedge funds. Or worse, they misuse of our nation's armed forces and our National Guard like we're seeing in California today. Where once their practice was on battlefields, it is today in Washington state capitals and in the courts. And all those places where the decisions of the powerful are made, they even take place on the streets, in the classrooms, and in the workplaces, as everyday people try to exercise their freedoms and live their lives. The only thing that has not changed is the place that they see us occupying, that of pawns that are easily exploited, and that of peasants who are here for whatever service that they can perform for their king. My message to them is this: we are not pawns, nor peasants meant to serve as a resource or a commodity in a world of cheap labor, peonage, and sycophants. We are meant to live our lives happily and fully in security. And brothers and sisters, the thing that I want to stress is that we should have stability in this world that we live in today. We're meant to continue this new but fading American concept that you should be able to leave your children with more than what you had growing up. We are meant to control our own lives, not be handed down by some benevolent king. It doesn't matter whether you're from the woods of Allagash, where I come from, or a working class neighborhood here in Bridgton, Portland, Biddeford, Lewiston, or Bangor. We deserve the freedom to work hard at a job with fair wages, good benefits, and a safe working environment. We deserve the freedom to put a roof over our head, give our kids a first-class education, and be able to go to a doctor when we are sick. We deserve the freedom to control if and when we have children, love who we love, and build a good, honest life for ourselves. So what do? We resist what we're doing today. Protest is what first brought me into politics, and it is what keeps me here today. Protesting is the way things are, what I know the way things should be. Protesting the fights we've lost, but forging ahead for a better tomorrow. I know, deep in my heart that all of you know that things are dire right now. But despite all the pain, all the heartbreak, and the downright cruelty happening around this country, I do remain hopeful. I remain hopeful today. When I showed up here, I couldn't believe it. Seeing the crowd that is here today, that gives me hope. And once again, it fueled my belief in ordinary people taking control of this country. People like us. Look at us here today. Unwilling to remain silent and turn a blind eye to the corruption that's going on in this country and in the state, the cruelty and injustice that are around us. Look at the people here today across the state, across this country. No more! No more! You know, I'm 56 years old today, and I spend my life, it seems, fighting for people who have had no voice, because I know what that feels like. Before I held office, I was and I am today just a nobody. Before, someone who was never supposed to run for office, let alone wield any political power, I was written off and underestimated. You know, Paul LePage said that I should go back to work in the woods because I was nothing. But what people like him do not understand is that people like us are never alone. What they don't understand about ordinary people is that we always have people behind us. We just have to get them to come out. There is more of us than there are of them.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
And there is more that binds us together than that divides us. That I am sure of. Today is not about me running for governor. It is not. It is about a movement of ordinary people, Mainers, banding together to get what is fair and right. It's about sending a clear message the people in power in Washington, D.C., and their entourage of sycophants, telling them what this country is about. A government for and of the people of this country. For and of the people. That is the message. Break those chains. Let's lift up our heads. No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! Let's do this! Keep at it! Resist! No kings!